In the first round of the 2009 first-year player draft, the Houston Astros select Giovanni Mayer, a shortstop from Bonita High School, Laverne, California. The Minnesota Twins are now on the clock.
Giovanni Mayer, 18 years old. What do you think?
Well, this is a good pick for him. But first of all, Giovanni Mayer wasn't necessarily a guy that was high on the board to begin with. I think as he played, his skills started coming out, and people saw that, hey, this guy could catch the ball, throw the ball with the best of them, good range both ways. And the bat is not that far away. He has a little bit pop. Had a chance to see him just a couple of weeks back, and late in the ball game, he actually took the ball deep, showed some pop on it. His brother plays in the Dodge organization, so you're talking about a family that has some athleticism. I think it's a good pick for Houston.
Well, if you look at him right there, you know, athletic shortstop, and again, I keep going back to what's happening at the major league level. You have Miguel Tejada playing shortstop. How long is he going to play shortstop for them? This is going to be time to develop. You got time to develop this young man, 3 years, 4 years. And if he really takes off, he'll get there sooner. But they can take their time and develop him.
Well, that's how I see this with Mayer. Again, this is a kid that still needs to fill out a little bit physically, but he does. I think Frank hit it. He can catch the ball. I think he's going to be a slow comer. I think you're just going to take him level by level by level, and you're going to end up with a plus defensive shortstop that can hit a little bit.
With the 8th selection in the first round of the 2010 first-year player draft, the Houston Astros select Delino DeShields Jr., a second baseman from Woodward Academy, College Park, Georgia. The San Diego Padres have the next pick, and they are now on the clock.
Well, it sounds familiar. Delino DeShields, his dad, senior, former major leaguer, played with the Expos. He was a first-round pick in 1987, but this is a guy that's not left-handed bat, but still very dynamic.
Well, very athletic, like his father. I mean, his father was the best point guard in the country as a high school player, drafted by Gary Hughes in the Expos. He is a tremendous athlete. I don't think they really, I'm told that they really don't know where they want to play him. They don't care. They just want that athleticism, and I think the Astros have lacked some of that in their farm system. They're trying to rebuild everything. They've got a great shot with all the draft choices they have here.
With the 11th selection of the 2011 first-year player draft, the Houston Astros select George Springer, an outfielder from the University of Connecticut, Storrs, Connecticut. The Milwaukee Brewers have the next pick, and they are now on the clock.
Arguably the greatest career in the history of UConn baseball, George Springer. His season stats, 374, 12 home runs, over 70 RBIs, over 30 stolen bases. George Springer is the pick here at number 12. Peter, you had a chance to talk to him. We saw the interview in the pre-draft show. Are you excited for him to go this early?
Really excited for him. I saw him play a little bit last summer, and he's got an electric bat, tremendous bat speed. He's a tremendous athlete who was trained as a gymnast when he was a young kid. Very athletic and a terrific center fielder. His upside is huge. I mean, his upside, there aren't many athletes like this coming around. And also in terms of character, you spend hours with him, you're thinking you're sitting there with Grady Sizemore's younger brother.
Yeah, again, when you look at this player, this is a talented young man. And again, when you break him down, I've got a 3-4 future hit. I think that's the biggest question for me when you look at the sixes that are on the board with the power and the run and the field and the arm. I think this guy has a chance to be something very special. The issue for me with Springer is going to be his ability to make adjustments, to breaking balls, to be able to handle good fastballs inside. Look, there's a player comp down there. Hunter Pence.
I saw that.
You look at it, this guy has a very similar skill set. He's a guy that plays hard. I think he's going to stay in center field, and he's a very athletic kid, and I like the power.
I think they got to take their time. With a cold weather kid who hasn't played a whole lot, and you talk about the breaking balls and different things, being able to make those adjustments. I think when you take a kid like in a cold weather state and you compare him to somebody out of a warm weather state, the upside is always better for the cold weather kid. He hasn't played as many games, had the same opportunities. The adjustment level is there, and I think the ceiling's higher and high for this kid right here.
I want to know how George is going to find out that he was drafted. He's playing in his regional right now. UConn winning 3-1 against Clemson. By the way, George is 1 for 1. And, oh, by the way, you were taken 11th overall by the Astros.
With the first selection of the 2012 first-year player draft, the Houston Astros select Carlos Correa.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
A shortstop from Puerto Rico Baseball Academy, Puerto Rico. The Minnesota Twins have the next.
Carlos Correa is the #1 pick in the 2012 Major League Baseball draft. And you're looking at the pride and joy of the Puerto Rican Baseball Academy. Highest draft pick to ever come out of the academy. That distinction used to belong to catcher Ramon Castro, who was taken with the 17th pick in 1994. Carlos is verbally committed to play at the University of Miami, but after experiencing all this, we shall see. This means so much for not only Carlos, but his entire family. Many of his family members are here tonight. You saw them embrace him, especially his father, Carlos Sr., a construction worker who pulls shifts from 4 a.m. to 5 p.m., then comes home every day to hit his son ground balls and throw him batting practice.
I tell you what, looking at all the video, we've been discussing this before. When you got a shortstop of his caliber, it's hard to pass on the first pick with this kid. I mean, you're talking about a profitable, projected Alex Rodriguez, Troy Tulowitzki type of player. So it's a shocker, but it's a tremendous shocker, no doubt.
We're going to talk much more about the #1 pick. For now, let's join Sam Ryan, who's with the #1 pick in this draft, Carlos Correa. Take it away, Sam.
Carlos Correa, your stock was rising since last week. Your name really out there. How exciting is this for you and your family?
Well, I feel so excited to be the #1 pick. I just worked hard to be here, and right now we are doing a great job, and I feel proud to be here and excited.
You heard Greg Amsinger talk about the highest pick from Puerto Rico, number 17, Ramon Castro, back in 1994. You're the only #1 pick out of Puerto Rico. What does this mean for your island?
This means a lot. I mean, I have been working hard. I want the Puerto Rican baseball grows up. We got a lot of good players down there, and I only want the Puerto Rican baseball grows up. That's all I want.
Ivan Rodriguez is here tonight. I know you spoke with him. You've spoken with Robbie Alomar, one of your idols, and Sandy Alomar Sr. has given you advice. What's the best piece of advice you've received?
Well, they have advised me very well. They have taught me a lot about baseball, obviously, and they have taught me well. Sandy Alomar has been working with me in the ballpark down there in my hometown. I feel proud that they have helped me a lot. I feel good. It feels good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The Houston Astros select Mark Appel, right-handed pitcher from Stanford University, Palo Alto, California. The Chicago Cubs have the next pick, and they are now on the clock.
They couldn't let the Houston native go twice. Last year they had a chance to take him #1. They chose not to. This year, Mark Appel drafted #1. We've talked a lot about last year's draft. He didn't sign with the Pirates, went back to Stanford. He was even better this year than he was last year. He went 10-4 with a 2.12 ERA, 130 strikeouts in over 106 innings pitched. 6'5" right-hander. He's brilliant, majored in management, science, and engineering. Jonathan Mayo, what do you think went down there? The negotiations back and forth. No, we're going to go with this guy. Instead, they go with Mark Appel.
I think it really came down to the last minute. But like I said at the top, I wanted them to go with who they thought was the best guy on the board. And by taking Mark Appel, they went with the best guy that they felt was on the board. Now, there may not have been full consensus when all is said and done, but this is a guy who said he got better in his senior year. And you know what? You have to take hats off to him. He went back into the draft that they're slipping to #8, and here he is #1. So clearly that move paid off for him. And now all they got to do is sign him, and he's a guy who shouldn't take very long to get to Houston.
No, I think the other thing here with Mark Appel, the Houston native, last year he was clearly disappointed. If you looked at his interviews and the things he did, he was disappointed he wasn't picked by Houston. They weren't able to work that out. He fell down, like you said, to Pittsburgh. But with an opportunity to go back home, pitch for your native team, and I will not be surprised if this guy's not in the big leagues by July of this year.
What?
That soon. I would not be shocked. I would not at all.
Wow.
That's the type of deal that could do with this kid.
Yeah, he has that kind of ability, Harold, and I agree. I think the Astros got this right. This is the most advanced pitcher in this draft.
With the first selection of the 2014 first-year player draft, the Houston Astros select Brady Aiken, left-handed pitcher from Cathedral Catholic High School in San Diego, California. The Miami Marlins have the next pick, and they are now on the clock.
There is the reaction. The Aiken family in San Diego. Brady Aiken, the #1 overall pick of the 2014 first-year player draft. We look forward to talking to him very soon. A lefty, 6'4", 205 pounds, went to Cathedral Catholic High School. Let's learn more about Brady Aiken right now as he steps into our MLB Network spotlight.
My name is Brady Aiken. I'm from San Diego, California, and I'm a left-handed pitcher. I modeled my baseball game after David Price because he's a big lefty, he's got a great fastball, and he's got great off-speed stuff. When I'm not playing baseball, I usually surf. I do CrossFit a lot. I do not listen to music before my games. You know, I got older, I got better, and I just stuck with the game, and it's something I've loved ever since I was a little kid.
He's the third high school lefty to ever be taken #1 overall. The Kershaw comp will always be tossed around when a high school lefty is drafted this soon. That's the case for Brady Aiken, who has 3+ pitches, dominated in the 2013-14 season, led Team USA to its second straight 18 and under World Championship last September. He was 7-0 with a 1.06, almost 2 Ks per innings pitched. You saw that he models his game after David Price. John, who does he remind you of?
Listen, I think Cliff Lee jumps out as a guy you think about. Look, he's got a pro body. You look at his 6'4", and you said it. He's got 3+ pitches right now, and it's not just the projectability of where this guy's going to go as a front of the rotation guy. I think a lot of it, when you look at a guy like this, you're going to look at his ability to pitch, his ability to feel the strike zone, and it brought to mind when Kansas City drafted Zach Greinke. It was kind of a surprise. I think he went 6th in the country in 2002. And I remember talking to the guys and they said, look, we feel this guy is as close to the big leagues as some of the college guys because he really has a great feel for the strike zone along with plus stuff. And I think that's what Brady Aiken brings to the table for Houston.
How do our pitchers view this #1 overall pick? Let's check in with Al Leiter, who has more on Brady Aiken.
Greg, this is what they're going to get with Brady Aiken. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a front-end starter in the big leagues. Left-hander, 6'4", 205. I see as a clean, really no-effort kind of left-handed delivery. Sits at about 91 miles an hour right now, touches 93. He's got a good curveball. That's a nice combination. Gain a third pitch as he gets into pro ball. Watch his gathering point here. I like when the hands and the legs work in sync. Good power side on the backside. A little bit of an uneven plane, but look, you see a lot of lefties do that. I know CC Sabathia has done it, Andy Pettit. Now, I like this. He lands on a soft landing or a bent leg, and then it goes straight, the pole vault effect. His head is behind the baseball, and now he's landing with a firm landing. And I see clean on the backside and a good finish. This is a nice pick.
With the second selection of the 2015 MLB Draft, the Houston Astros select Alex Bregman, a shortstop from Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The Colorado Rockies have the next selection.
Alex Bregman, on a night where Carlos Correa makes his big league debut at short for the Astros. They take a shortstop with the #2 pick, and Alex Bregman is standing in our MLB Network spotlight.
Alex Bregman, Louisiana State University, shortstop. First started playing baseball at age 4. First game ever turned an unassisted triple play. I'm not a big Instagram guy. I'm not a big picture poster. When I was little, like 4 or 5, I got naked and ran around their house naked and jumped on a little horse, and my parents got so embarrassed, but it was funny. Can you make me look jacked on the camera?
Oh, yeah, he's comfy. You know, he broke in as a freshman, hit .369 with 6 home runs and over 50 RBIs. Hit .316 as a sophomore this year, .312, 9 home runs, ranked top 10 in the country with 37 stolen bases. Alex Bregman, a 6', 186-pound shortstop, goes to the Houston Astros with the 2nd overall pick. Harold, what do you think of this?
But when you look at this young man, I compare him a lot to Altuve. You look at Pedroia, those comps come up because of the size. and I think he's going to end up a second.
Yeah, I agree with you, Harold. I don't think there's a lot of finish in his swing. I think it's going to be a high-contact hitter. I think he's going to be a solid contributor at the Major League level. Chance to impact, for me, not as great as Swanson.
Here's what I love about Alex Bregman. If you ask him whether he can play shortstop, there is no doubt in his mind, and he gets ticked off if you even mention that he's going to move to second base. And he's worked really hard on his defense this year, where I think he's gotten to the point where you send him out as a shortstop and then move him later if he let him play his way off the position. And I know they have Carlos Correa.
Right.
You cross that bridge when you get to it. You worry about that later.
Okay.
I think you send him out as a shortstop and let him show that he can't do it.
The 17th selection in the 2016 MLB Draft, the Houston Astros select Forrest Whitley, a right-handed pitcher from Alamo Heights High School in San Antonio, Texas. The New York Yankees have the next selection.
Well, this is not good news for the Florida State baseball program. It was banking on getting Forrest Whitley to Tallahassee. Whitley entered high school barely 6 feet tall, then grew 7 inches in less than a year and became a highly coveted prep right-hander by his sophomore season. He touches 97, power breaking ball, good changeup for an 18-year-old. Forrest Whitley to the Houston Astros.
Say he grew 7 inches.
That's right, 7 inches. He's standing. All 6'7" of him in our draft spotlight.
My name is Forrest Whitley. I'm a right-handed pitcher. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I modeled my game after Jose Fernandez. I'm big, I throw hard, I have a good curveball, and I throw a good changeup. My biggest influence is my pitching coach, Dave Smith. He taught me everything I know about pitching, and he's why I'm here today. When I was in 5th grade, I threw a perfect game and hit 2 home runs.
Just last Friday, he tossed a one-hitter with 14 punch-outs in the state regional final. He threw a no-hitter before that with 14 strikeouts. He could be a frontline starter as he develops. Al Leiter, what do you think of Forrest Whitley?
Thanks, Greg. Wow, Forrest Whitley. You talk about a guy that has grown since high school. He's grown 5-6 inches at least. This guy is 6'7". You talk about imposing downward playing. I liken him to Josh Johnson a little bit. You talk about the combination of a fastball, curve, and changeup. He's already pretty good at 3 pitches. This is a guy that has a plus velocity. I love the carry through the zone. When he gets in a pro system and learn how to really hone his control and have better command, I love his upside.
The 15th selection of the 2017 MLB Draft, the Houston Astros select J.B. Bukauskas, a right-handed pitcher from University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The New York Yankees have the next selection.
J.B. Bukauskas, a 6-foot right-hander, owns what many scouts believe is the best breaking pitch in this draft class, and he's standing in our draft spotlight.
J.B. Bukauskas, North Carolina, right-handed pitcher. Playing at North Carolina has been one of my dreams for a long time. I modeled my game after Sonny Gray, being a shorter right-handed pitcher, fastball slider. But I have a little doll my mom gave me. I always keep in my back pocket when I'm pitching. I should have brought it, sorry.
With the 28th selection of the 2018 MLB Draft, the Houston Astros select Seth Beer, an outfielder from Clemson University, Clemson, South Carolina.